The light gathers into a soft pearl glow, guiding you gently into the valley of quietly held tomorrows, where rolling hills cradle futures that rest without hurry, waiting in perfect patience for the soul's readiness. You feel your body growing heavier on the bed, each breath slower and deeper as the day's weight dissolves completely. There is no fear here, only boundless love, acceptance, and the quiet certainty that everything unfolds exactly as it should. The pearl light envelops you like the softest mist, lifting you effortlessly upward until the familiar world fades below. Ahead, the valley opens wide, an immense bowl of gentle green hills, bathed in perpetual dawn that never quite becomes full morning. The air is cool and sweet, scented with fresh grass and distant blossoms that bloom only in possibility. Every hill holds tomorrows that have chosen rest over rush, small joys, deeper connections, moments of healing, all glowing faintly, suspended in perfect suspension. You step forward onto a narrow path of soft earth, cool beneath your bare feet, winding downward between the hills. The grass brushes your ankles like tender encouragement, releasing faint traces of light that travel upward through your legs, loosening knees, hips, lower back. Tension you carried without noticing melts away, replaced by profound calm. The valley's presence welcomes you without words, conveying that you are safe, deeply seen, exactly where you belong. Wildflowers dot the slopes in pale clusters, each petal a tomorrow of quiet creativity, relationships deepening slowly, personal growth unfolding layer by layer. None demand arrival, all simply are, held in loving patience. Your breath matches the valley's unhurried rhythm, drawing in spacious peace, exhaling everything else. Sleep begins to rise from the earth like warm mist, curling around your calves, inviting complete surrender. You are cradled in the valley of quietly held tomorrows, where nothing is late, nothing is missing. Let go now, deeper and deeper, into this gentle embrace until only restorative slumber remains. You stand at the valley's entrance, feeling the cool grass beneath your feet, each blade holding a tomorrow that has chosen gentle suspension rather than rush. The pearl light softens further, wrapping around you like the lightest shawl, warming without heat. The hills rise and fall in slow, breathing waves, their slopes covered in fine grass that glows faintly from within as though lit by inner dawn. One hill catches your eye, its curve gentle, crowned with low trees whose leaves shimmer with visions of quiet mornings yet to come, waking without alarm, lingering over tea, watching light shift across familiar walls. These tomorrows rest peacefully, content to wait until the soul feels ready. Another hill nearby cradles tomorrows of connection, conversations that deepen naturally, friendships that grow richer in comfortable silence, love expressed in small daily gestures rather than grand declarations. The valley accepts every pace of becoming, every shade of closeness. You step onto the path, feeling it yield softly beneath you, guiding you downward with infinite patience. The air carries faint scents of dew and distant rain that refreshes without falling. Butterflies of pale light drift lazily between the hills, their wings patterned with half-formed scenes, laughter shared in quiet company, acts of kindness offered without record. Your body grows heavier, sinking deeper into the bed far away as the valley's calm seeps into every muscle. Shoulders drop, jaw softens, thoughts slow to the rhythm of swaying grass. Sleep pools in the depressions between hills, deep and fragrant, rising gradually to meet your knees. The entrance widens into a welcoming basin where all, quietly held, tomorrows spread out in luminous harmony. Nothing demands haste here. Everything is allowed to ripen in its own time. You are held in perfect suspension, loved beyond measure. Allow the valley's entrance to cradle you now, deeper into its pearl embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. A narrow path winds downward, lined with low bushes whose leaves shimmer with visions of small, unclaimed joys yet to come. Quiet mornings, unexpected kindnesses, moments of deep rest. The pearl light filters through the leaves, creating dappled patterns across the path that dance gently with each step. One bush rustles softly as you pass. Its leaves hold tomorrows of simple pleasure. Finding the perfect book on a rainy day, sharing a meal prepared with care, walking a familiar route as though seeing it anew. These joys rest lightly, glowing without demand. Another bush nearby cradles tomorrows of inner strength, courage arriving in small increments, resilience building quietly through ordinary challenges. The path curves gracefully, never steep, always inviting slower steps. You feel the cool earth through your soles, grounding yet weightless, as tension flows downward and dissolves. The bushes lean slightly as though sharing secrets without words, their fragrance sweet and subtle, hints of honey and fresh linen. Your breath lengthens, drawing in the valley's patient calm, releasing any lingering sense of hurry. Sleep rises along the path like warm mist, curling around your waist, your chest, softening every edge. Small lights nestle in certain leaves, moments of future contentment already seeded, waiting without pressure. The narrow path feels intimate, designed solely for this moment, guiding you deeper into the valley's heart. Nothing needs claiming here. Everything is already yours in quiet possibility. You are safe, deeply cherished. Let the winding path carry you now, deeper into its gentle embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. The air is scented with fresh earth and distant rain that never quite arrives, soothing your breath into longer, slower rhythms. The pearl light thickens into cool mist that caresses your skin, refreshing without chilling, carrying hints of petrichor and blooming night flowers that open only in tomorrow's promise. You inhale deeply, feeling the valley's essence fill your lungs, spacious patience, gentle becoming, endless allowance. Each exhale releases another small layer of the day, worries dissolving into the mist like sugar in warm tea. The hills rise higher now, their slopes covered in grass, heavy with dew, that catches the light in tiny prisms. Tomorrows of clarity arriving after confusion, understanding deepening after questions linger. One slope glows softly, tomorrows of forgiveness offered to self, and others arriving in quiet waves rather than dramatic moments. Another slope nearby holds tomorrows of creativity, ideas gestating slowly, inspiration gathering like dew before dawn. The air's fragrance deepens, wrapping around you like the lightest scarf, heavy with comfort. Your body grows impossibly relaxed, sinking deeper into the bed as muscles release their last subtle holds. Sleep rises through the mist, cool and sweet, flowing upward through your arms, your shoulders, your neck. The distant rain scent promises renewal without storm, cleansing without disruption. Nothing needs precipitation tonight. Everything is already nourished in quiet anticipation. You are held in perfect balance, loved beyond measure. Allow the scented air to carry you now deeper into the valley's heart, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. You walk slowly, sensing the valley's quiet presence welcoming you, conveying without words that every tomorrow here is already safe. The pearl light pulses gently, like a vast heartbeat matching your own slowing rhythm, reassuring with every glow that nothing is lost, nothing is late. The hills lean in protectively, their curves forming natural alcoves where tomorrows of deep belonging rest, connections that endure across time, homes found within rather than without. acceptance arriving steadily like tide. One alcove glows warmly, tomorrows of self-companionship, learning to enjoy one's own company in quiet richness. Another alcove nearby cradles tomorrows of contribution, small acts that ripple outward, kindnesses offered without tracking impact. You pause in a wide open space where the grass forms a perfect circle, inviting you to lie down. The ground yields softly, cradling every part of you as though the valley has waited eternally for this exact shape. Above, the sky holds countless soft lights, tomorrows waiting in patient constellation. Your breath becomes part of the valley's vast respiration, drawing in unconditional welcome, exhaling any remaining sense of separation. Sleep rises through the circle like warm earth after rain, rich and inevitable, filling every cell with heavy, held calm. The quiet presence deepens, conveying profound safety, profound love. You are seen completely, cherished exactly as you are. Nothing needs proving tonight. Allow the valley's welcome to hold you fully now, deeper into its pearl embrace, until only the deepest, most restorative slumber remains. The path continues its gentle descent, carrying you deeper into the heart of the valley where the hills rise like soft waves frozen in mid-motion, their slopes bathed in the same pearl light that now feels like an extension of your own breath. One hill rises softly to your left, its curve inviting rather than imposing, crowned with clusters of pale, luminous flowers that seem to open and close in the slowest possible rhythm. These are the tomorrows of renewed creativity, ideas that have been gathering quietly in the background of busy days, sketches half drawn in the mind, melodies hummed but never written down, stories begun in fragments and allowed to rest until the heart feels ready to continue. The flowers do not demand full bloom. They glow contentedly in their partial opening, petals edged with light that pulses faintly like a resting heartbeat. You pause beside the hill, reaching out to touch one stem, and a wave of gentle warmth spreads through your fingers, traveling upward through your arm and settling in your chest, loosening any subtle tightness around inspiration or expression. The valley accepts every stage of making, beginning, pausing, returning when the time feels right. Nearby, butterflies of pure light drift lazily from flower to flower, carrying pollen of quiet encouragement, ensuring that every seed of creativity remains fertile, even in rest. Your body grows heavier with each moment here, sinking deeper into the bed far away as the hill's calm seeps into your shoulders, your neck, the small muscles behind your eyes. Sleep begins to pool at the base of the hill, warm and fragrant like earth after soft rain, rising gradually to meet your waist. Nothing needs completion tonight. Everything is allowed to remain beautifully partial. You feel profoundly supported, as though the entire hill leans slightly to hold you better. Allow this tomorrow of creativity to cradle you now, deeper into its patient glow, until only restorative slumber remains. The path curves gracefully around the base of that hill and reveals another rising to your right, its slope steeper, yet still welcoming, covered in soft, silvery moss that seems to absorb sound and return only deeper quiet. This hill cradles tomorrows of healing, wounds that have softened over time, hearts mending in invisible layers, strength returning grain by grain through ordinary days of rest and small kindnesses. The moss glows faintly from within, as though lit by memories of resilience gathering slowly like dew before dawn. You step closer, feeling the cool softness underfoot, and a profound wave of release washes through you, starting at your feet and traveling upward, dissolving any lingering ache in joints, in chest, in the quiet places where old hurts once lived. One patch of moss shimmers particularly brightly, tomorrows of physical ease arriving after seasons of strain, bodies learning gentleness again through slow movement, and deep breath. Another patch nearby holds tomorrows of emotional mending, grief transforming into quiet gratitude, anger softening into understanding, fear giving way to trust one small moment at a time. The valley honors every pace of recovery, every necessary pause. Small lights nestle within the moss like fireflies choosing to rest, moments of breakthrough already seeded, waiting without pressure. Your breath slows to match the hill's imperceptible rise and fall, drawing in cool healing, exhaling anything that no longer serves. Sleep rises through the moss like warm earth breathing, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your hips, your lower back, filling you with heavy, mending calm. The hill seems to lean protectively, adjusting its curve to support you perfectly. You are safe here, deeply tended. Nothing needs rushing tonight. Let this tomorrow of healing hold you fully now, deeper into its silvery embrace, until only the deepest, most nurturing slumber remains. The path levels into a wide basin where a still lake reflects a sky of perpetual dawn, its surface perfectly calm, holding tomorrows of peace that have no need to fully rise or set. The water glows with the same pearl light, mirroring the hills in soft distortion, creating the illusion of floating between two valleys, one above, one below. You approach the water's edge, feeling the cool mist rise to meet your face, refreshing without chilling, carrying hints of lotus and distant mountains. The lake cradles tomorrows of inner stillness, moments of meditation, deepening over time, anxiety softening into acceptance, busy minds learning to rest in spacious quiet. One section of the lake shimmers particularly brightly, tomorrows of emotional balance arriving after seasons of storm, hearts learning to hold both joy and sorrow without tipping. Another section nearby holds tomorrows of spiritual peace, questions finding gentle companions rather than urgent answers, connection to something larger growing through ordinary wonder. The basin accepts every depth of calm, every shade of serenity. You kneel at the edge, letting your fingers trail the surface, and ripples form in perfect circles, showing gentle scenes, tomorrows of sitting by windows watching rain, evenings spent in comfortable silence, nights of deep, untroubled sleep. Your body grows impossibly relaxed, sinking deeper into the bed as the lake's calm seeps into every cell. Sleep pools across the surface like warm oil, sweet and inevitable, rising to envelop your chest, your arms, your throat. The reflected sky holds countless soft lights, tomorrows of peace, waiting in patient constellation. Nothing needs disturbance tonight. Allow the still lake to hold you completely now, deeper into its pearl reflection, until only restorative slumber remains. You pause at the water's edge, feeling the cool mist touch your skin, releasing the day's last small tensions as though the lake itself exhales them away. The mist rises in slow curls, carrying faint scents of water lilies and morning dew that never quite evaporates, wrapping around your ankles, your calves, your knees like the lightest scarf woven from quiet itself. The hills surrounding the basin lean in protectively, their curves forming natural alcoves where tomorrows of solitude rest, moments of being comfortably alone, thoughts wandering without loneliness, self-company becoming rich and nourishing. One alcove glows warmly, tomorrows of reading in perfect quiet, pages turning slowly, words sinking deep without interruption. Another alcove nearby cradles tomorrows of walking alone, yet feeling deeply connected to nature, to memory, to the greater whole. The mist thickens comfortingly, cooling any remaining warmth of wakefulness into perfect balance. Your breath slows to match the lake's imperceptible movement, drawing in cool spaciousness, exhaling any lingering need for company or distraction. Sleep rises through the mist like warm breath meeting cool air, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your waist, your lower back, your shoulders. Small lights drift across the water's surface, moments of future solitude already seeded, glowing without pressure. The pause at the water's edge feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of release. Nothing needs movement tonight. Allow the cool mist to hold you fully now, deeper into its gentle embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. Ripples form without wind, showing gentle scenes, tomorrows of laughter shared in quiet company, conversations that deepen without force, connections that endure through comfortable silence rather than constant words. The ripples spread in perfect circles, each one carrying a scene that dissolves softly into the next. Friends meeting after long absence and picking up exactly where they left off. Family gatherings where presence matters more than conversation. Loves expressed in small daily gestures that accumulate into profound depth. The lake accepts every form of togetherness, every pace of closeness. You watch the ripples from the edge, feeling their calm movement resonate through your chest, loosening any subtle tightness around belonging or separation. One ripple shows a tomorrow of reconciliation arriving gently after years of quiet space, understanding passing without need for dramatic words. Another ripple nearby holds a tomorrow of new connection, someone entering your life at exactly the right moment, conversation flowing easily yet deeply. The pearl light reflects perfectly in each ripple, creating layers of luminous scenes that overlap without confusion. Your body grows heavier with each dissolving ripple, sinking deeper into the bed as the lake's serenity seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises across the surface like warm mist meeting cool water, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your arms, your neck, your crown. The ripples slow to perfect stillness, leaving only soft after-images of gentle connection. Nothing needs speaking tonight. Allow the rippling scenes to hold you completely now, deeper into their pearl calm, until only restorative slumber remains. The path winds onward from the lake's edge, carrying you deeper into the valley where the hills begin to close in like protective arms, forming a narrow passage that opens suddenly into a grove of ancient trees standing in perfect circle. Their trunks rise tall and smooth, bark shimmering with faint silver veins that pulse slowly like quiet rivers beneath the surface. These trees cradle nests of light high in their branches, tomorrows of wisdom gathering gradually, insights arriving not in flashes, but in slow accumulation, like rings forming year by year within the wood. One tree stands slightly forward, its branches heavy with glowing nests that hold tomorrows of understanding earned through patient living. Lessons from mistakes softened by time, truths about others revealed in gentle layers, self-knowledge deepening through ordinary reflection rather than dramatic revelation. The nests glow warmly, neither bright nor dim, content in their slow building. You step into the circle, feeling the cool grass give way to soft moss that carpets the ground, thick and springy, inviting you to walk barefoot and feel the earth's steady heartbeat through your soles. The air here is richer, scented with resin and old wood, carrying hints of stories told around ancient fires long cooled to embers. Another tree nearby holds nests of practical wisdom, knowing when to speak and when to listen, learning the value of small, consistent acts over grand occasional ones, understanding that peace often lives in acceptance rather than change. The grove accepts every form of knowing, every pace of revelation. You reach out to touch one trunk, and its warmth spreads through your palm like quiet reassurance, traveling upward through your arm, loosening shoulders, neck, the subtle tension behind your eyes. Butterflies of pale silver light drift between the branches, carrying tiny sparks from nest to nest, ensuring that every seed of wisdom remains connected, nourished even in quiet seasons. Your breath slows to match the grove's imperceptible sway, drawing in ancient calm, exhaling any lingering need for quick answers. Sleep rises through the moss like warm earth breathing, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your hips, your lower back, filling you with heavy, rooted calm. The nests pulse gently overhead, a lullaby of patient understanding, slowing your thoughts to drifting leaves. Lights glow softly within certain nests, moments of future clarity already forming, waiting without pressure. The grove feels like a sanctuary designed solely for this moment of quiet gathering. Nothing needs immediate insight tonight. Allow the ancient trees to hold you fully now, deeper into their silver-veined embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The warmth from the tree trunk lingers in your hand as you move deeper into the grove, where the moss grows thicker and the light filters through the canopy in soft, dappled patterns that shift without hurry. Their trunks are warm to the touch, pulsing faintly with the steady heartbeat of patient growth, conveying without words that wisdom is not a destination, but a quiet companion walking beside you always. One tree in particular draws you closer, its bark etched with faint patterns that seem to shift when viewed from the corner of the eye, holding tomorrows of emotional wisdom. Learning to hold space for complex feelings without rushing to resolve them, understanding that sadness and joy can coexist, discovering that vulnerability strengthens rather than weakens. The pulse beneath the bark matches your own slowing heartbeat, reassuring with every faint throb that growth happens in darkness as much as light. Another tree nearby cradles tomorrows of relational wisdom, knowing when to reach out and when to give space, learning the language of unspoken needs, understanding that true intimacy often lives in comfortable silence. The grove honors every rhythm of connection, every season of learning. You press your palm fully against one trunk, feeling its warmth spread through your entire arm, traveling across your chest, loosening the heart's subtle armor, softening places that once braced against misunderstanding. Small birds of pure light perch briefly in the branches, singing notes that dissolve into meaningful quiet rather than resolve. Your breath becomes part of the tree's slow respiration, drawing in resin-scented calm, exhaling any remaining sharpness around knowing or not knowing. Sleep rises through the trunks like sap in spring, warm and viscous, flowing upward through your torso, your shoulders, your neck, until you feel filled with heavy, pulsing calm. The faint pulse beneath the bark becomes your own lullaby, slowing your thoughts to single, drifting rings of growth. Lights nestle deeper within certain veins, moments of future understanding already forming, waiting without pressure. The warmth feels like being held by something ancient and kind. Nothing needs immediate clarity tonight. Allow the warm trunks to hold you fully now, deeper into their steady embrace until only restorative slumber remains. You rest against one tree, feeling its calm rhythm match your own slowing pulse. The bark smooth and warm like skin heated by gentle sun, conveying a profound steadiness that travels through your back, your spine, every vertebra aligning into perfect relaxation. The tree seems to lean slightly, adjusting its curve to support you better, branches overhead forming a natural canopy that filters the pearl light into soft patterns across your face. This particular tree holds tomorrows of self-wisdom, learning to trust your own timing, understanding that rest is productive, discovering that boundaries are acts of love rather than rejection. Its pulse is slow and deliberate, like a grandfather clock marking time in centuries rather than minutes. Another tree nearby cradles tomorrows of spiritual wisdom, moments of connection to something larger arriving in ordinary ways, watching clouds, feeling wind, noticing the precise shade of green in new leaves. The grove accepts every path to meaning, every quiet revelation. You slide down slowly, back against the trunk, until you sit fully supported on the thick moss, legs stretching out, every muscle releasing its last subtle hold. Small roots rise gently to cradle your ankles, your calves, as though the tree extends its care downward. Your breath deepens to match the grove's vast, slow inhale and exhale, drawing in ancient peace, exhaling any lingering doubt about your own pace. Sleep rises through the trunk into your back, warm and steady, flowing outward through your arms, your hands, your fingers, until you feel completely merged with the tree's calm rhythm. The pulse becomes your heartbeat, your lullaby, slowing everything to perfect rest. Lights glow faintly along the bark, rings of future growth already forming, patient and unforced. The rest against the tree feels eternal, yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of quiet alignment. Nothing needs striving tonight. Allow the calm rhythm to hold you fully now, deeper into its steady embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. Beyond the grove, the path opens onto a meadow where grasses sway with tomorrows of simple contentment, days lived fully in ordinary beauty, moments savoured without need for more. The grass here grows in wide, open sweeps, each blade heavy with dew that catches the light in tiny prisms, reflecting small rainbows that dance without moving. One sweep glows particularly warmly. Tomorrows of appreciating what is already here, morning light on familiar objects, the precise taste of favourite tea, the sound of birds returning each spring. The contentment rests lightly, glowing without demand for grandeur. Another sweep nearby holds tomorrows of small pleasures accumulating, reading in perfect quiet, cooking without rush, walking routes known by heart yet always new in detail. The meadow accepts every scale of happiness, every degree of noticing. You step into the open space, feeling the grass part like welcoming hands, cool and soft, releasing faint scents of hay and wild herbs. Butterflies of pale gold drift lazily overhead, their wings patterned with ordinary moments elevated to joy. Finding the perfect word, sharing a private joke, noticing beauty in passing clouds. Your body grows heavier with each step, sinking deeper into the bed far away, as the meadow's calm seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises through the dew-heavy blades, warm and sweet, flowing upward through your hips, your lower back, filling you with heavy, contented calm. The sways pulse gently, a lullaby of enoughness, slowing your thoughts to drifting prisms. Lights glow at certain blade tips, moments of future contentment already seeded, waiting without pressure. The open meadow feels like coming home to what was always sufficient. Nothing needs more tonight. Allow the swaying grasses to hold you fully now, deeper into their golden embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. Wildflowers here glow faintly, each one a tomorrow of small, perfect moments unclaimed, yet already felt in the heart. Finding a forgotten favourite song, receiving unexpected kindness from a stranger, noticing the exact shade of blue in evening sky. The flowers grow in loose, colourful clusters, petals opening slowly like hands unclenching, releasing faint fragrances that mingle into one sweet chord of possibility. One cluster leans toward you, its blooms soft pink and gold, tomorrows of sensory delight, perfect bites of food, fabrics that feel exactly right against skin, scents that transport instantly to cherished memories. Another cluster nearby, deeper blue and white, holds tomorrows of emotional small perfection, conversations ending at exactly the right moment, silences shared in complete understanding, gestures that say everything without words. The meadow accepts every shade of moment, every degree of noticing. You move among the clusters, feeling petals brush your fingers like tender greetings, each contact leaving a trace of warm fragrance that travels inward, loosening your chest, your throat, the subtle places where joy sometimes hides. Small bees of pure light hum lazily from bloom to bloom, carrying pollen of quiet appreciation without urgency. Your breath becomes part of the meadow's slow fragrance, drawing in layered sweetness, exhaling any lingering belief that joy must be large to matter. Sleep rises through the stems like warm nectar, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your torso, your arms, your crown, until you feel bathed in tender heaviness. The glowing flowers pulse gently, a lullaby of small perfection, slowing your heartbeat to match their calm opening. Lights glow softly in certain hearts, seeds of future moments already forming, waiting without pressure. The wildflowers feel like old friends reminding you of what was always available. Nothing needs grandeur tonight. Allow the glowing clusters to hold you fully now, deeper into their fragrant embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The path leads onward from the meadow of wildflowers, winding gently upward through a narrow passage where the hills draw closer, their slopes now draped in soft, flowing vines that shimmer with faint silver threads. A gentle stream appears beside the path, its water clear and slow-moving, carrying tomorrows of forgiveness that flow without urgency or force. The stream winds through the valley like a quiet ribbon of light, its surface reflecting the pearl sky in perfect stillness, broken only by the occasional ripple that forms and dissolves without disturbance. One section of the stream glows particularly warmly, tomorrows of self-forgiveness arriving after years of quiet carrying, mistakes understood not as burdens, but as teachers, compassion offered inwardly in small daily acts of gentleness toward one's own heart. The water here moves with infinite patience, washing away old sharpness without drama. Another section nearby holds tomorrows of forgiveness extended outward, relationships softened by understanding, old hurts released not through confrontation, but through quiet acceptance and wishing well from afar. The stream accepts every form of letting go, every pace of release. You walk alongside it, feeling the cool mist rise from the surface to touch your skin, refreshing without chilling, carrying hints of mint and clear mountain air. Small fish of pure light dart beneath the surface, their movements creating soft trails that dissolve into forgiveness already given. Your breath slows to match the stream's unhurried flow, drawing in cool mercy, exhaling any remaining residue of blame or regret. Sleep rises along the banks like warm vapor meeting cool water, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your legs, your hips, your lower back, until you feel filled with heavy, cleansing calm. The stream's quiet presence conveys without words that forgiveness is not an event, but a gentle current always available. Lights glow faintly beneath certain ripples, moments of future release already forming, waiting without pressure. The path feels like a companion walking beside the stream, guiding you deeper into the valley's heart of mercy. Nothing needs rushing tonight. Allow the gentle stream to hold you fully now, deeper into its flowing embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. You kneel at the stream, letting its cool touch wash over your hands, the water flowing between your fingers like liquid light, carrying away the day's last subtle weights as though they were leaves drifting downstream. The stream widens slightly here, forming small pools where the current slows almost to stillness, cradling tomorrows of mutual forgiveness, relationships where both sides release quietly, understanding passing without need for spoken apology, peace arriving in the space between. One pool shimmers softly, tomorrows of forgiving circumstances beyond control, Losses accepted not with bitterness, but with quiet gratitude for what was learned, for the strength quietly gained. Another pool nearby holds tomorrows of forgiving the world its imperfections, accepting that people and situations are as they are, compassion extending outward like widening circles. The water's touch is profoundly soothing, traveling upward through your wrists, your arms, your shoulders, loosening every place that once held tightness around fairness or justice. Small lotuses of pale light float on the surface, opening slowly to reveal centers glowing with forgiveness, already complete in spirit. Your breath becomes part of the stream's slow movement, drawing in cool release, exhaling any lingering grasp on old stories. Sleep rises through the pools like warm mist, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your chest, your throat, your crown, until you feel bathed in tender heaviness. The kneeling at the stream feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of quiet washing. Lights occasionally surface and soften again, moments of pure mercy glowing without announcement. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the water, conveying profound safety in letting go. Nothing needs holding tonight. Allow the cool touch to hold you fully now, deeper into its cleansing embrace until only restorative slumber remains. The valley deepens again, hills rising higher on either side, their slopes now covered in soft moss that holds tomorrows of deep rest and renewal, seasons of recovery arriving after exhaustion, bodies and hearts learning to prioritize stillness, energy returning in quiet increments through consistent care rather than dramatic recharge. The moss grows thick and inviting, glowing faintly from within like earth, lit by inner moon. One slope glows particularly warmly, tomorrows of physical renewal, sleep deepening naturally, movement becoming joyful again, strength building through gentle consistency. Another slope nearby cradles tomorrows of emotional rest, minds learning to quiet without force, hearts finding safe harbors in routine and ritual. The valley accepts every pace of recovery, every necessary season of low energy. You step onto the moss, feeling it yield perfectly beneath your weight, cool and springy, cradling every footfall as though the earth itself exhales in welcome. The air here is cooler, carrying hints of fern and deep forest, refreshing every breath. Small lights nestle within the moss like resting fireflies, moments of future vitality already seeded, waiting without pressure. Your body grows impossibly heavy with each step, sinking deeper into the bed far away as the moss's calm seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises through the slopes like warm earth, breathing after rain, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your calves, your thighs, your hips, until you feel filled with heavy, renewing calm. The moss seems to rise slightly to meet you, adjusting its thickness to support you perfectly. Lights glow softly along certain patches, rings of future strength already forming, patient and unforced. The deepening valley feels like a sanctuary designed solely for this moment of quiet restoration. Nothing needs pushing tonight. Allow the soft moss to hold you fully now, deeper into its renewing embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. You lie back on the moss, feeling it cradle every part of your body perfectly, drawing you downward into the earth's embrace with infinite gentleness. The moss thickens beneath you like a living mattress, cool beneath your back and warm within, supporting shoulders, spine, hips, head, as though the valley has memorized your exact shape across time. This particular slope holds tomorrows of mental rest, thoughts learning to slow without resistance, minds finding spaciousness in ordinary moments, clarity arriving through quiet rather than effort. The moss glows faintly beneath you, pulsing with the slow rhythm of deep restoration. Another slope across the way cradles tomorrows of spiritual renewal, connection to meaning deepening through small daily practices, wonder returning in subtle ways, faith or trust growing root by quiet root. The valley accepts every form of replenishment, every season of gathering strength. Small creatures of pure light move quietly through the moss, moments of future energy stirring gently, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes part of the slope's vast respiration, drawing in cool earth, exhaling any remaining mental chatter. Sleep rises through the moss like warm vapor, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your arms, your chest, your throat, until you feel completely merged with the earth's calm. The lying back on the moss feels eternal, yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of complete surrender. Lights glow softly throughout the slope, patches of future renewal already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around you, conveying profound safety and rest. Nothing needs activity tonight. Allow the cradling moss to hold you fully now, deeper into its renewing embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. Above, the sky shifts to deeper pearl, holding countless soft lights, tomorrows of connection waiting in quiet readiness, relationships deepening across time through consistent presence rather than grand gestures. The lights glow neither bright nor dim, content in their patient constellation, forming patterns that shift slowly like clouds revealing hidden shapes. One cluster shimmers particularly warmly, tomorrows of romantic connection, love growing richer in ordinary moments, partnership deepening through shared silence and small daily choices. Another cluster nearby holds tomorrows of platonic bonds, friendships enduring through seasons of distance, understanding passing without constant contact. The sky accepts every form of closeness, every pace of relating. You watch from the moss, feeling the light's calm glow reflect in your chest, loosening any subtle tightness around belonging or separation. Small shooting lights occasionally trace gentle arcs, moments of future connection already traveling, waiting without pressure. Your breath widens to fill the vast sky, drawing in spacious relatedness, exhaling any lingering sense of isolation. Sleep rises through the pearl depths like warm stars descending, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your entire being until you feel filled with heavy, connected calm. The shifting constellations pulse gently overhead, a lullaby of ongoing relatedness, slowing your thoughts to drifting patterns. Lights glow softly throughout the sky, moments of future closeness already forming, patient and unforced. The view above feels like being held by the universe itself. Nothing needs reaching tonight. Allow the countless soft lights to hold you fully now, deeper into their pearl embrace until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The path emerges from the moss-covered slopes and opens into a wider expanse where the valley breathes more freely, the hills pulling back to reveal a vast meadow bathed in the same pearl light that now feels like a living presence, warm and cool at once. One light drifts closer from the deepening sky, its glow soft and intimate, revealing a tomorrow of understanding, shared without words. A bond that deepens across gentle time, through consistent presence, small gestures that accumulate into profound knowing, silences that speak volumes where words would fall short. This light hovers near your chest, its warmth seeping inward like sunlight through closed eyelids, loosening the subtle armor around the heart, softening places that once guarded against vulnerability or misunderstanding. The meadow accepts every form of connection, every pace of intimacy. Another light nearby holds a tomorrow of renewed family ties, conversations that flow more easily after seasons of distance, shared memories resurfacing with laughter rather than pain, love expressed in practical ways that heal old silences. The drifting lights cast no shadows, only gentle illumination that touches the grass below, causing blades to glow faintly in response. You walk slowly through the meadow, feeling the grass part like welcoming companions, each step releasing another small layer of isolation carried from the day. Butterflies of pale pearl drift between the lights, their wings patterned with half-formed scenes, hands reaching across tables, eyes meeting in quiet recognition, hugs lingering just long enough. Your breath widens to match the meadow's vast openness, drawing in spacious relatedness, exhaling any lingering sense of separation. Sleep rises through the glowing grass like warm mist, ascending rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your hips, your lower back, your spine, until you feel filled with heavy, connected calm. The drifting lights pulse gently overhead, a lullaby of ongoing bond, slowing your thoughts to single, soft orbits. Lights occasionally descend and hover, moments of future closeness already traveling, waiting without pressure. The meadow feels like the heart's true home, where every connection is already eternal in quiet possibility. Nothing needs words tonight. Allow the drifting lights to hold you fully now, deeper into their pearl embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The warmth from the nearest light lingers in your chest as you move deeper into the meadow, where the grass grows taller and begins to sway in slow, synchronized waves that match the rhythm of a shared heartbeat felt across distance. Another light nearby holds a tomorrow of courage expressed in small, steady steps rather than grand gestures, speaking truth quietly when the moment feels right, setting boundaries with kindness, choosing authenticity in ordinary interactions that accumulate into profound personal strength. This light glows with steady amber within its pearl shell, hovering at eye level as though inviting gentle acknowledgement. The meadow accepts every scale of bravery, every quiet act of standing firm. You pause beneath it, feeling its steady glow reflect in your own eyes, loosening any subtle fear around visibility or change. Small birds of pure light perch briefly on nearby blades, singing notes that dissolve into meaningful courage rather than resolve. Your body grows heavier with each moment here, sinking deeper into the bed far away as the light's calm seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises through the swaying grass like warm earth-breathing courage, rich and inevitable, enveloping your arms, your shoulders, your neck, until you feel filled with heavy, grounded calm. The tomorrow of courage pulses gently, a lullaby of steady becoming, slowing your pulse to match its calm persistence. Lights glow softly throughout the meadow, seeds of future bravery already planted, waiting without pressure. The pause beneath the light feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of quiet alignment with inner strength. Nothing needs dramatic action tonight. Allow the steady glow to hold you fully now, deeper into its amber pearl embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. The valley's quiet breeze carries faint melodies from the distance, growing clearer as you continue through the meadow. Tomorrows of music felt in the soul long before played. Songs that arrive fully formed in quiet moments, harmonies discovered in everyday sounds like wind in leaves or rain on windows. The breeze moves through the grass like invisible fingers on strings, creating soft chords that resonate in your chest without needing instruments. One melody drifts closer, the tomorrow of personal expression through sound, humming while cooking, singing in the shower, sharing a playlist that says what words cannot. The melody rests lightly here, glowing without demand for performance. Another breeze nearby carries tomorrows of shared music, concerts attended in spirit if not body, songs sent across distance that arrive at exactly the right moment, silences filled with remembered tunes. The valley accepts every form of melody, every degree of sharing. You walk with the breeze, feeling it brush your skin like tender notes, each contact leaving a trace of warm harmony that loosens your throat, your chest, the places where expression sometimes catches. Small chimes of pure light hang invisibly in the air, ringing softly when the breeze passes. Your breath becomes part of the melody, drawing in layered sound, exhaling any lingering self-consciousness around voice or silence. Sleep rises through the breeze like warm vibration, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your entire being until you feel filled with heavy, singing calm. The faint melodies pulse gently around you, a lullaby of ongoing harmony, slowing your thoughts to single, drifting notes. Lights glow at certain points in the air, future songs already forming, waiting without pressure. The walking with the breeze feels like dancing without steps. Nothing needs performance tonight. Allow the faint melodies to hold you fully now, deeper into their harmonious embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. You breathe with the breeze, each inhale drawing in patience, each exhale releasing hurry, feeling the valley's vast calm settle deeper into every cell, as though the air itself is composed of pure allowance. The breeze widens, carrying scents of night-blooming flowers and distant oceans, wrapping around you like the lightest shawl woven from quiet itself. One particularly gentle current brings tomorrows of patience with process, projects unfolding slowly, relationships deepening gradually, personal growth arriving in seasons rather than sprints. The current rests lightly here, glowing without demand for speed. Another breeze nearby holds tomorrows of patience with others, understanding that people change at their own pace, compassion extending across misunderstandings, love expressed through consistent presence rather than immediate transformation. The valley accepts every rhythm of waiting, every shade of trust. You pause in an open space where the grass forms a perfect circle, feeling the breezes converge gently, creating a soft vortex of calm around you. Small leaves of pure light spiral slowly within the currents, moments of future understanding already traveling, waiting without pressure. Your body grows impossibly relaxed, sinking deeper into the bed as the breeze's calm seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises through the converging currents like warm air, ascending sweet and inevitable, enveloping your waist, your chest, your throat, until you feel suspended in perfect balance. The breathing with the breeze feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of complete release. Lights glow softly throughout the currents, seeds of future patience already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the breezes, conveying profound safety in allowing. Nothing needs rushing tonight. Allow the gentle currents to hold you fully now, deeper into their patient embrace until only restorative slumber remains. The path climbs gently to a ridge overlooking the entire valley, where all quietly held tomorrows spread out in luminous harmony. Below, like a vast tapestry, woven from light and shadow in perfect balance. The ridge is wide and open, grass short and soft beneath your feet, the air clearer here with hints of high-altitude crispness, tempered by the valley's warmth. From this vantage, you see rivers of light winding through the hills, tomorrows of journeys taken inwardly, rich with discovery through reflection, reading, quiet observation, rather than physical travel. One river glows particularly brightly, tomorrows of self-discovery arriving through journaling, therapy, solitary walks where thoughts untangle naturally. Another river nearby holds tomorrows of worldly exploration, books that transport, conversations that open new perspectives, small adventures in familiar places that feel vast. The valley accepts every form of travel, every pace of exploration. You sit at the ridge's edge, legs dangling over the endless view, feeling completely supported by the earth behind and the air before. Small clouds of pale light drift across the vista, each one shaped like a tomorrow of playful discovery yet to unfold. Your breath widens to fill the vast panorama, drawing in spacious wonder, exhaling any lingering sense of confinement. Sleep gathers along the ridge like warm mist ascending from below, rich and inevitable, rising to meet your hips, your lower back, your shoulders, until you feel filled with heavy, expansive calm. The luminous harmony pulses gently below, a lullaby of ongoing journey, slowing your thoughts to drifting rivers. Lights glow throughout the tapestry, moments of future discovery already forming, waiting without pressure. The view from the ridge feels like seeing the soul's true landscape. Nothing needs distance tonight. Allow the overlooking harmony to hold you fully now, deeper into its luminous embrace until only the deepest, most slumber remains. The ridge holds you in its wide, open embrace for a long while, the vast tapestry of the valley spread below like a living painting that shifts only in the gentlest ways. Rivers of light winding through hills, meadows glowing softly, every tomorrow resting in perfect harmony. From this height, you see rivers of light winding through the hills, tomorrows of journeys taken inwardly, rich with discovery through quiet reflection, books that open new worlds without leaving home, conversations with the self that reveal hidden landscapes of the heart. One river catches the pearl light particularly brightly, flowing steadily through a narrow gorge, tomorrows of intellectual exploration, ideas pursued slowly over years, knowledge deepening through patient reading, questions allowed to mature rather than be answered quickly. The river rests here, complete in its meandering flow, neither rushing to the sea nor stagnating. Another river nearby, wider and slower, holds tomorrows of emotional journeys, grief navigated without map, joy rediscovered in unexpected places, love transforming through seasons of distance and return. The valley accepts every path of the soul, every inward mile traveled. You remain seated at the ridge's edge, feeling the cool grass beneath you and the warm air rising from below, creating a perfect balance that loosens your hips, your lower back, the subtle tension along your spine. Small clouds of pale light drift across the vista, each one shaped like a tomorrow of insight yet to arrive, moments of sudden clarity during ordinary tasks, connections made between seemingly unrelated thoughts, understanding blooming like flowers in unexpected corners of the mind. Your breath widens to fill the vast panorama, drawing in spacious discovery, exhaling any lingering sense of stagnation or confinement. Sleep gathers along the rivers below like warm mist ascending, rich and inevitable, rising to meet your waist, your chest, your shoulders, until you feel filled with heavy, flowing calm. The winding rivers pulse gently, a lullaby of ongoing exploration, slowing your thoughts to single, meandering currents. Lights glow throughout the rivers, moments of future revelation already forming, waiting without pressure. The view from the ridge feels like witnessing the soul's true geography. Nothing needs distance tonight. Allow the winding rivers to hold you fully now, deeper into their luminous embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The warmth of the vista lingers in your chest as you rise slowly from the ridge, the path now descending gently along the opposite slope, carrying you toward the drifting clouds that move lazily across the sky like soft promises taking shape. Soft clouds drift across the ridge, each one shaped like a tomorrow of playful wonder yet to unfold. Moments of childlike joy returning in adult life, laughter at small absurdities, curiosity reignited by simple things like bubbles in dishwater or patterns in frost. One cloud hovers particularly close, its form shifting slowly from dragon to castle to sailing ship. Tomorrows of creativity expressed through play, doodling without purpose, building sandcastles at any age, dancing alone in the kitchen to favorite songs. The cloud rests lightly here, glowing without demand for productivity. Another cloud nearby, fluffier and slower, holds tomorrows of wonder in nature, watching ants carry loads 10 times their size, noticing the precise way leaves fall, feeling awe at thunderstorms from a safe distance. The sky accepts every form of delight, every degree of playfulness. You reach upward instinctively, feeling the cloud's cool mist brush your fingertips, leaving a trace of warm lightness that travels downward through your arms, loosening elbows, wrists, hands, releasing any subtle seriousness carried too long. Small birds of pure light fly through the clouds, their wings leaving trails of sparkles that dissolve into laughter remembered. Your body grows lighter, yet heavier with joy, sinking deeper into the bed far away as the cloud's calm seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises through the drifting forms like warm vapor, ascending, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your chest, your throat, your crown, until you feel filled with heavy, playful calm. The shifting shapes pulse gently overhead, a lullaby of ongoing wonder, slowing your thoughts to single, drifting forms. Lights glow softly within certain clouds, moments of future delight already forming, waiting without pressure. The drifting across the ridge feels like being held by childhood, returned gently. Nothing needs seriousness tonight. Allow the soft clouds to hold you fully now, deeper into their playful embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. You sit at the ridge's edge, legs dangling over endless quiet, feeling completely supported by the earth behind and the vast air before. The pearl light now deepening into a richer glow that seems to rise from the valley itself rather than descend from above. The sitting feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of perfect balance between groundedness and openness. One particularly wide section of the ridge holds tomorrows of contemplation, hours spent watching clouds exactly like this, thoughts wandering without destination, insights arriving unforced in the space between thinking and not thinking. The section glows warmly beneath you, cradling your sitting bones with infinite patience. Another section nearby cradles tomorrows of active stillness. Yoga practiced slowly, walking meditation where each step becomes prayer, sitting in cafes observing life without need to participate. The ridge accepts every form of presence, every pace of being. You lean back slightly, feeling the grass support your lower back perfectly, arms resting at your sides, palms open to the sky. Small breezes rise from the valley below, carrying hints of all the meadows and rivers and groves you've passed, scents of moss and water and wildflowers mingling into one fragrance of quiet belonging. Your breath becomes part of the ridge's vast respiration, drawing in spacious now, exhaling any lingering need for elsewhere or elsewhen. Sleep gathers along the edge like warm mist ascending from the depths, rich and inevitable, rising to meet your thighs, your hips, your lower back, until you feel filled with heavy, present calm. The sitting at the edge feels like the perfect pause between journeys. Lights glow softly along the ridge, moments of future presence already forming, waiting without pressure. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the sitting, conveying profound safety in simply being. Nothing needs movement tonight. Allow the wide edge to hold you fully now, deeper into its balanced embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. Below, a forest of silver trees holds tomorrows of deep knowing, insights arriving when the mind is still, truths about life revealed in quiet rather than study. understanding blooming like flowers in unexpected corners of ordinary days. The trees rise tall from the valley floor, their leaves shimmering with faint silver that catches the pearl light in slow pulses, each tree a repository of wisdom earned through living rather than seeking. One tree in particular glows steadily, tomorrows of knowing when enough is enough, stopping work at reasonable hours, saying no with kindness, recognizing that rest is part of the path. Another tree nearby holds tomorrows of knowing others more deeply, seeing beneath words to true needs, understanding pain without sharing the same story, loving without needing to fix. The forest accepts every shade of comprehension, every pace of revelation. You watch from the ridge, feeling the tree's calm pulse travel upward through the air, loosening your jaw, your brow, the subtle tension around certainty or uncertainty. Small owls of pure light perch silently in the branches, their eyes reflecting quiet seeing rather than seeking. Your breath slows to match the forest's imperceptible sway, drawing in ancient knowing, exhaling any lingering need for immediate answers. Sleep rises through the silver trunks like warm sap, ascending, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your entire being until you feel filled with heavy, rooted calm. The deep knowing pulses gently below, a lullaby of patient understanding, slowing your thoughts to single silver leaves. Lights glow softly within certain branches, rings of future wisdom already forming, waiting without pressure. The view of the forest feels like witnessing the soul's quiet library. Nothing needs knowing tonight. Allow the silver trees to hold you fully now, deeper into their knowing embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. Their leaves rustle without wind, a soothing sound that matches your slowing thoughts, the rustle soft and constant, like distant ocean waves heard from a safe shore, carrying hints of all the wisdom the trees have gathered across seasons. Understanding that everything passes, that struggle and ease alternate like breathing, that love in its many forms is the quiet thread connecting all things. One particularly tall tree stands at the forest's center, its leaves rustling with tomorrows of acceptance, learning to hold life's contradictions without resolution, embracing imperfection as part of beauty, finding peace in not having all the answers. Another tree nearby rustles with tomorrows of gratitude, small, daily thanks that accumulate into profound contentment, noticing what is present rather than what is missing. The forest accepts every form of peace, every pace of appreciation. You remain on the ridge, feeling the rustle travel through the air like vibration, loosening your chest, your throat, the subtle places where resistance once lived. Small breezes rise from the leaves, carrying faint scents of silver bark and deep earth. Your breath becomes part of the rustle, drawing in layered acceptance, exhaling any remaining grasp on perfection or certainty. Sleep rises through the rustling leaves like warm sound ascending, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your arms, your neck, your crown, until you feel filled with heavy, rustling calm. The soothing sound without wind feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of complete release. Lights glow softly throughout the leaves, moments of future peace already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the rustle, conveying profound safety in allowing. Nothing needs resolution tonight. Allow the rustling leaves to hold you fully now, deeper into their soothing embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The ridge cradles you a little longer, its wide expanse feeling like the perfect threshold between seeing everything and needing nothing more, until a subtle shift in the light invites you onward. The path now slopes gently downward again, winding along the valley's flank where the air grows cooler and carries the faint, crisp scent of high places tempered by the warmth rising from below. The sun, that never fully rises or sets, casts perpetual soft light, warming without heat, a glow that seems to come from within the valley itself, as though the earth here has learned to hold dawn in eternal balance. This light bathes the slopes in tender gold, touching every blade of grass, every leaf, every stone with the same impartial gentleness, conveying without words that time here is not a line but a circle, always returning to softness. One slope in particular glows more warmly, its grass heavy with the light of late afternoons remembered forever. Tomorrows of golden hours spent in perfect ordinariness, sitting on porches watching light shift across familiar views, sharing quiet meals where conversation ebbs and flows without pressure, moments when the world feels exactly right without anything extraordinary happening. The perpetual light rests here, complete in its refusal to fade, neither demanding evening nor clinging to midday. Another slope nearby holds the light of early mornings eternal, waking without rush, lingering in bed watching dust motes dance in sunbeams, starting days with slow rituals that set the tone for gentle unfolding. The valley accepts every hour of light, every shade of day. You walk along the sunlit path, feeling the warmth touch your skin like the memory of every perfect afternoon, loosening your arms, your hands, the subtle places where time once felt urgent. Small birds of pure gold light perch briefly on blades, singing notes that dissolve into meaningful warmth rather than resolve. Your breath becomes part of the perpetual glow, drawing in endless softness, exhaling any lingering sense of deadline or dusk. Sleep rises through the sunlit slopes like warm earth, ascending, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your torso, your shoulders, your crown, until you feel filled with heavy, glowing calm. The perpetual light pulses gently around you, a lullaby of eternal day, slowing your thoughts to single, drifting beams. Lights glow softly throughout the slopes, moments of future warmth already forming, waiting without pressure. The walking in perpetual light feels like living inside the heart of a perfect hour. Nothing needs change tonight. Allow the sun that never fully rises or sets to hold you fully now, deeper into its tender embrace until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The warmth of the perpetual light lingers on your skin as the path curves onward, leading you toward a small bridge of light, arching over a quiet stream that reflects the unchanging glow in perfect stillness. The bridge appears as though woven from sunbeams, solidified just enough to bear weight, its surface warm and slightly yielding beneath your feet, conveying a sense of crossing into even deeper acceptance. This bridge leads to a hidden dell of tomorrows devoted to self-kindness, moments of treating oneself with the same gentleness offered to a dear friend, small daily choices that prioritize care over criticism, forgiveness extended inward without condition. The dell opens suddenly, a perfect circle of soft grass surrounded by low hills that lean protectively inward, their slopes covered in flowers that bloom in pale gold and rose, each petal a tomorrow of quiet self-compassion, pausing to rest when tired, speaking inwardly with encouragement rather than judgment, allowing imperfections to exist without fixing. The dell accepts every form of tenderness toward the self, every pace of learning gentleness. You step off the bridge into the circle, feeling the grass rise to meet your feet like a living welcome, cool and infinitely soft, cradling every step as though the earth here has waited patiently for your arrival. Butterflies of pale rose light drift lazily among the flowers, their wings patterned with half-formed scenes, hands offering comfort to one's own heart, quiet affirmations spoken in mirrors moments of choosing ease over striving. Your body grows heavier with each step into the dell, sinking deeper into the bed far away as the self-kindness seeps into every muscle. Sleep rises through the flowers like warm nectar, ascending sweet and inevitable, enveloping your legs, your hips, your waist, until you feel filled with heavy, compassionate calm. The hidden dell pulses gently, a lullaby of ongoing care, slowing your heartbeat to match its calm persistence. Lights glow softly in the hearts of certain blooms, seeds of future gentleness already planted, waiting without pressure. The stepping into the dell feels like coming home to the self long awaited. Nothing needs improvement tonight. Allow the hidden dell to hold you fully now, deeper into its compassionate embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. The bridge of light fades softly behind you as you move deeper into the dell, where the flowers grow denser and the air carries a richer fragrance of rose and warm earth, wrapping around you like the gentlest arms. In the dell, flowers of pale gold bloom, tomorrows of confidence growing root by quiet root, self-assurance arriving not in loud declarations, but in small daily choices to trust one's own voice, to stand in one's truth without apology, to move through the world with the quiet certainty of being enough exactly as is. One cluster glows particularly brightly, tomorrows of speaking up in meetings or conversations with calm clarity, voice steady even when hands tremble slightly. Another cluster nearby, softer gold, holds tomorrows of quiet presence, walking into rooms without need to prove anything, allowing silence to speak when words feel unnecessary, confidence expressed in relaxed shoulders and direct gaze. The dell accepts every shade of assurance, every pace of growing into oneself. You walk among the clusters, feeling petals brush your fingers like tender encouragement, each contact leaving a trace of warm gold that loosens your throat, your chest, the subtle places where doubt once lived. Small bees of pure light hum lazily from bloom to bloom, carrying pollen of quiet strength without urgency. Your breath becomes part of the dell's slow fragrance, drawing in layered assurance, exhaling any lingering need for external validation. Sleep rises through the pale gold blooms like warm sap ascending, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your torso, your arms, your crown, until you feel filled with heavy, confident calm. The blooming flowers pulse gently, a lullaby of steady becoming, slowing your thoughts to single, opening petals. Lights glow softly in certain centers, moments of future certainty already forming, waiting without pressure. The walking among pale gold feels like growing into one's own light. Nothing needs proving tonight. Allow the blooming clusters to hold you fully now, deeper into their confident embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The fragrance of the pale gold flowers lingers as you move to the center of the dell, where butterflies of pure light flutter among them, carrying pollen of gentle encouragement from bloom to bloom, their wings leaving faint trails of sparkles that dissolve into quiet strength. The butterflies move in slow, graceful patterns, neither hurried nor random, as though dancing to a melody only the dell can hear. One butterfly pauses near your shoulder. Tomorrows of encouragement offered to oneself in difficult moments, inner voice shifting from criticism to support, small affirmations spoken in mirrors or quiet thoughts, compassion arriving exactly when needed. Another butterfly nearby carries tomorrows of encouragement received, kind words from others landing deeply, support arriving unexpectedly, moments when the world reflects back one's worth without asking. The dell accepts every direction of encouragement, every pace of uplift. You stand in the center, feeling the butterfly's calm movement resonate through the air, loosening your jaw, your brow, the subtle places where self-doubt once tightened. Small trails of light linger where wings pass, creating soft patterns across your skin like temporary tattoos of quiet strength. Your breath becomes part of the flutter, drawing in layered encouragement, exhaling any remaining harshness towards self or others. Sleep rises through the fluttering wings like warm air, ascending, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your entire being until you feel filled with heavy, supported, calm. The gentle encouragement pulses gently around you, a lullaby of ongoing uplift, slowing your heartbeat to match its calm persistence. Lights glow softly along certain trails, moments of future support already forming, waiting without pressure. The standing among fluttering light feels like being held by countless small kindnesses. Nothing needs striving tonight. Allow the butterflies to hold you fully now, deeper into their encouraging embrace until only restorative slumber remains. You lie down in the center of the dell, surrounded by softly glowing petals that seem to lean inward as though sharing a secret meant only for you. The ground here is warm and yielding, moss and fallen petals forming a perfect bed that adjusts to every curve of your body, cradling head, shoulders, back, hips, legs, as though the dell has waited patiently across time for this exact shape. This particular center holds tomorrows of complete self-acceptance, days when the mirror reflects not judgment but quiet recognition, moments when imperfections are seen as part of the unique pattern, love for self arriving steadily like tide rather than wave. The petals glow warmly beneath and around you, pulsing with the slow rhythm of gentle okayness. Another center nearby, though you feel it without moving, cradles tomorrows of living authentically, choices aligned with inner truth rather than external expectation, voice and actions matching heart without apology. The dell accepts every shade of being true, every pace of alignment. Small lights nestle in the petals like resting fireflies, moments of future acceptance already seeded, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes part of the dell's vast respiration, drawing in unconditional okayness, exhaling any lingering need for change or improvement. Sleep rises through the glowing petals like warm earth, ascending, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your entire being until you feel indistinguishable from the dell's calm. The lying down in the center feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of complete surrender to self as is. Lights glow softly throughout the petals, moments of future wholeness already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the lying down, conveying profound safety in being exactly enough. Nothing needs fixing tonight. Allow the center of the dell to hold you fully now, deeper into its accepting embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The dell's gentle glow lingers around you like the afterwarmth of a hug that refuses to end, and soon the circle of flowers begins to open outward, revealing a narrow, winding path that leads deeper still into the valley's most intimate heart. Butterflies of pure light flutter among them, carrying pollen of gentle encouragement from bloom to bloom, their wings leaving faint trails of rose-gold sparkles that dissolve slowly into the air like quiet laughter remembered. One butterfly pauses near your face, hovering just long enough for you to feel the soft brush of its wings against your cheek. A tomorrow of encouragement offered in the smallest ways. Notes left for yourself on the mirror. Quiet celebrations of tiny victories, inner dialogue shifting from demand to support. The butterfly rests lightly here, glowing without need for grand gesture. Another butterfly nearby carries tomorrow of encouragement received, Words from friends landing exactly when needed, strangers offering unexpected kindness, the universe conspiring in subtle ways to remind you that you are seen and valued. The dell accepts every direction of uplift, every scale of support. You walk slowly along the emerging path, feeling the butterfly's calm movement resonate through the air, loosening your jaw, your brow, the subtle places where discouragement once settled. Trails of light linger where wings pass, creating soft patterns across your skin like temporary reminders of worth. Small chimes of pure light ring faintly when butterflies brush flowers, the sound existing only in feeling rather than hearing. Your breath becomes part of the flutter, drawing in layered encouragement, exhaling any remaining harshness towards self or circumstance. Sleep rises through the fluttering wings like warm air, ascending sweet and inevitable, enveloping your chest, your arms, your hands, till you feel filled with heavy, supported calm. The gentle encouragement pulses around you, a lullaby of ongoing uplift, slowing your heartbeat to match its calm persistence. Lights glow softly along certain trails, moments of future support already forming, waiting without pressure. The walking among fluttering light feels like being surrounded by countless small kindnesses, each one a quiet yes to your existence. Nothing needs striving tonight. Allow the butterflies to hold you fully now, deeper into their encouraging embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The path from the dell widens into a sunlit clearing where you lie down in the center of the dell, surrounded by softly glowing petals that seem to lean inward as though sharing a secret meant only for you. The ground here is warm and yielding, a perfect blend of moss and fallen petals, forming a living bed that adjusts to every curve of your body, cradling head, shoulders, back, hips, legs, as though the valley has memorized your exact shape across countless quiet moments. This particular center holds tomorrows of complete self-acceptance, days when waking brings no immediate judgment, when the mirror reflects not flaws to fix, but a familiar friend to greet, when being exactly as you are feels like enough without addition or subtraction. The petals glow warmly beneath and around you, pulsing with the slow rhythm of gentle okayness, neither bright nor dim, content in their quiet affirmation. Another center nearby, though you feel it without moving, cradles tomorrows of living without apology, choices aligned with inner truth rather than external expectation, voice and actions matching heart without need for justification, presence offered fully rather than edited for approval. The clearing accepts every shade of being true, every pace of alignment. Small lights nestle in the petals like resting fireflies, moments of future wholeness already seeded, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes part of the clearing's vast respiration, drawing in unconditional acceptance, exhaling any lingering need for change or improvement. Sleep rises through the glowing petals like warm earth, ascending, rich and inevitable, flowing upward through your entire being until you feel indistinguishable from the clearing's calm. The lying down in the center feels eternal yet intimate, designed solely for this moment of complete surrender to self as is. Lights glow softly throughout the petals, moments of future wholeness already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the lying down, conveying profound safety in being exactly enough. Nothing needs fixing tonight. Allow the center of the clearing to hold you fully now, deeper into its accepting embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The clearing's gentle glow lingers as you remain lying in its center, the petals continuing to lean inward with infinite tenderness, their soft light now shifting to a deeper rose that feels like the heart's own color. The ground here is warmer still, the moss and petals forming an even thicker cushion, that rises slightly to support the small of your back, the curve of your neck, the weight of your head, as though the earth itself exhales in welcome. This deeper center holds tomorrows of embodied self-love, days when the body is treated as a dear home rather than a project, movement chosen for joy rather than punishment, rest honored as sacred rather than earned. The petals pulse with the slow rhythm of gentle care, conveying without words that every curve, every scar, every perceived imperfection is part of the beloved whole. Another center nearby cradles tomorrows of emotional self-intimacy, sitting with feelings without rushing them away, allowing tears or laughter to flow naturally, meeting the inner child with the same tenderness offered to actual children. The clearing accepts every layer of love turned inward, every pace of meeting oneself fully. Small lights glow brighter in certain petals, moments of future tenderness already forming, waiting without pressure. Your breath deepens to match the clearing's vast, slow inhale and exhale, drawing in rose warmth, exhaling any remaining criticism or comparison. Sleep rises through the deeper center, like warm blood, circulating calm, rich and inevitable, enveloping every cell until you feel completely merged with the earth's loving hold. The lying down in the deeper center feels like returning to the womb of unconditional regard. Lights glow softly throughout the rose petals, moments of future love already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the lying down, conveying profound safety in being wholly loved as is. Nothing needs earning tonight. Allow the deeper center to hold you fully now, deeper into its rose embrace, until only restorative slumber remains. The rose glow of the deeper center softens gradually into a cooler pearl as the clearing begins to expand outward again, revealing a wider circle where the ground here is even softer, almost buoyant, the moss and petals forming a bed that seems to float slightly above the earth, cradling you in perfect suspension. This widest center holds tomorrows of radical self-belonging, days when the sense of not fitting in dissolves into the quiet, knowing that you belong exactly where you are, to yourself first and foremost, to the world as a unique and necessary note in its vast song. The petals here are larger, their glow steady and encompassing, conveying without words that separation was always illusion, that every perceived outsider status was temporary forgetting of inherent connection. Another center nearby cradles tomorrows of belonging in community, finding or creating spaces where authenticity is welcomed without performance, where differences are celebrated rather than tolerated, where being fully seen feels natural rather than rare. The clearing accepts every form of homecoming, every pace of remembering. Small lights rise occasionally from the petals like gentle bubbles, moments of future belonging already forming, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes part of the clearing's vast, floating respiration, drawing in pearl spaciousness, exhaling any lingering sense of exile or otherness. Sleep rises through the widest center like warm mist ascending from water, sweet and inevitable, enveloping your entire being until you feel weightless, yet deeply held. The lying down in the widest center feels like floating in the heart of universal welcome. Lights glow softly throughout the larger petals, moments of future homecoming already forming, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence deepens around the lying down, conveying profound safety in inherent belonging. Nothing needs searching tonight. Allow the widest center to hold you fully now, deeper into its pearl embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The pearl glow of the widest center deepens into a richer ivory, as the clearing continues its gentle expansion, revealing the valley's final, most encompassing heart, where the ground here is infinitely soft, the moss and petals forming a bed that encompasses the entire clearing, cradling you in boundless support. This ultimate center holds tomorrows of complete wholeness, days when the illusion of brokenness dissolves entirely, when past, present, and future align in quiet recognition that you were always whole, always enough, always becoming exactly as intended. The petals here are vast and overlapping, their glow steady and all-encompassing, conveying without words that every perceived fragment was part of the perfect pattern, every detour necessary to the journey home to self. Another center nearby cradles tomorrows of living from wholeness, choices flowing from inner completeness rather than lack, giving from overflow rather than depletion, receiving without suspicion or unworthiness. The clearing accepts every realization of unity, every pace of remembering truth. Small lights rise throughout the vast petals like gentle stars descending, moments of future wholeness already present, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes indistinguishable from the clearing's boundless respiration, drawing in ivory completeness, exhaling any final illusion of separation. Sleep rises through the ultimate center like warm light ascending from within, rich and inevitable, enveloping every aspect of your being until you feel completely dissolved into loving wholeness. The lying down in the ultimate center feels like merging with the source of all gentleness. Lights glow softly throughout the vast petals, moments of eternal wholeness already here, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence encompasses everything now, conveying profound safety in being eternally whole. Nothing needs becoming tonight. Allow the ultimate center to hold you fully now, deeper into its ivory embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. Good night. The ivory glow of the ultimate center holds you in its boundless embrace for what feels like an eternity. Folded gently into a single breath, the vast petals beneath and around you pulsing with the slow rhythm of complete wholeness, every fragment of past doubt or future worry dissolving into the warm light that rises from the earth itself. Then, almost imperceptibly, the clearing begins to widen once more, the petals parting like curtains, drawn by an unseen hand, revealing a soft descent into a new layer of the valley where the ground here is even softer. Almost liquid in its yielding, the moss and petals forming a bed that seems to breathe with you. This new heart holds tomorrows of embodied peace, days when the body moves without judgment, rest is chosen without guilt, sensation is experienced fully in the present rather than analyzed or compared. The petals here are larger still, their glow steady and all-encompassing, conveying without words that every breath, every heartbeat, every subtle shift of weight is already part of the perfect dance of being alive. Another heart nearby cradles tomorrows of living without the weight of should, choices flowing from inner quiet rather than external rule, time spent in ways that nourish rather than perform, presence offered freely rather than measured. The valley accepts every form of ease, every pace of releasing effort. You sink deeper into the liquid soft bed, feeling it rise to meet the curve of your spine, the weight of your limbs, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, as though the earth has learned the exact rhythm of your relaxation across countless nights. Small lights rise slowly from the petals like warm bubbles, moments of future ease, already forming, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes indistinguishable from the valley's boundless respiration, drawing in ivory peace, exhaling any final illusion of striving. Sleep rises through this new heart like warm light ascending from within, rich and inevitable, enveloping every aspect of your being until you feel completely dissolved into loving ease. The sinking into the new heart feels like merging with the source of all gentleness toward the body and time. Lights glow softly throughout the vast petals, moments of eternal peace already here, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence encompasses everything now, conveying profound safety in effortless being. Nothing needs effort tonight. Allow this new heart to hold you fully now, deeper into its ivory embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The liquid soft bed of the new heart cradles you a little longer, its warmth spreading through every cell like honey poured slowly through the veins, until the petals begin to part once more, revealing an even deeper descent where the ground here is infinitely yielding, the moss and petals forming a bed that seems to float in warm air, cradling you in perfect weightlessness. This deepest heart holds tomorrows of complete self-forgiveness, days when old regrets no longer cast shadows, when mistakes are seen as necessary steps on the path already walked, when compassion for past selves arrives fully and without reservation. The petals here are vast and overlapping, their glow steady and all-encompassing, conveying without words that every choice, every misstep, every moment of confusion was part of the perfect unfolding that brought you here. Another heart nearby cradles tomorrows of forgiving the world its chaos, accepting that life includes pain and imperfection, releasing the quiet resentment carried for things not being different, finding peace in what is rather than what should be. The valley accepts every layer of mercy, every pace of release. You float deeper into the weightless bed, feeling it support you from all sides, above and below, as though suspended in the heart of unconditional forgiveness. Small lights rise throughout the vast petals like gentle stars descending, moments of future mercy already present, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes part of the deepest heart's boundless respiration, drawing in complete release, exhaling any final grasp on old stories. Sleep rises through this deepest heart like warm forgiveness, ascending from within, rich and inevitable, enveloping every aspect of your being until you feel completely dissolved into loving mercy. The floating in the deepest heart feels like being held by the source of all compassion. Lights glow softly throughout the vast petals, moments of eternal forgiveness already here, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence encompasses everything now, conveying profound safety and complete release. Nothing needs holding on to tonight. Allow this deepest heart to hold you fully now, deeper into its forgiving embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The weightless embrace of the deepest heart lingers, its warmth spreading through every subtle layer of memory and feeling, until the petals begin to open once more, revealing the valley's most sacred center, where the ground here is no longer ground but pure light made solid enough to hold you, the moss and petals forming a bed that radiates gentle warmth from within. This most sacred center holds tomorrows of complete self-trust, days when intuition is followed without second-guessing, when inner knowing guides choices with quiet certainty, when doubt dissolves into the steady recognition that you have always known what you need. The light here is steady and all-encompassing, conveying without words that every inner voice, every quiet hunch, every moment of "this feels right" was part of the perfect guidance already present. Another center nearby cradles tomorrows of trusting life's flow, releasing the need to control outcomes, allowing events to unfold with curiosity rather than fear, finding peace in surrender rather than strategy. The valley accepts every form of faith, every pace of letting go. You rest deeper into the light bed, feeling it radiate through your entire being, warming places that once braced against uncertainty, softening the subtle tension around not knowing. Small lights rise throughout the sacred center, like gentle stars ascending, moments of future trust already present, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes indistinguishable from the center's boundless glow, drawing in complete faith, exhaling any final illusion of separation from guidance. Sleep rises through this most sacred center, like warm trust ascending from within, rich and inevitable, enveloping every aspect of your being until you feel completely merged with loving certainty. The resting in the most sacred center feels like returning to the source of all inner knowing. Lights glow softly throughout the light bed, moments of eternal trust already here, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence encompasses everything now, conveying profound safety and complete surrender. Nothing needs controlling tonight. Allow this most sacred center to hold you fully now, deeper into its trusting embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The light bed of the most sacred center holds you in its radiant warmth for what feels like the gentle eternity of a single, perfect breath, until the glow begins to soften into a richer ivory that seems to rise from the very core of the valley. The petals part once more, revealing the valley's ultimate heart, where the bed here is no longer separate from you, the light and moss and petals becoming one with your own presence, cradling you in complete unity. This ultimate heart holds tomorrows of complete self-love, days when love for self flows as naturally as breathing, when worthiness is felt without condition, when every moment includes gentle kindness turned inward first. The light here is steady and all-encompassing, conveying without words that you are always worthy of this love, always the beloved. Another heart nearby cradles tomorrows of love, expressed outward from fullness, giving without depletion, receiving without suspicion, connection flowing from overflow rather than need. The valley accepts every direction of love, every pace of opening the heart. You merge deeper into the ultimate bed, feeling the light radiate through every cell, warming places that once felt empty or unworthy, softening the final subtle layers of separation from love. Small lights rise throughout the ultimate heart like gentle stars becoming one, moments of eternal love already here, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes indistinguishable from the heart's boundless glow, drawing in complete love, exhaling any final illusion of unworthiness. Sleep rises through this ultimate heart like warm love, ascending from within, rich and inevitable, enveloping every aspect of your being until you feel completely dissolved into loving wholeness. The merging in the ultimate heart feels like remembering you were never separate from love. Lights glow softly throughout the oneness, moments of eternal love already present, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence encompasses everything now, conveying profound safety and complete belovedness. Nothing needs earning tonight. Allow this ultimate heart to hold you fully now, deeper into its loving embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The ultimate heart's glow holds you in its complete oneness for the gentle eternity of perfect rest, the light and love and wholeness becoming your own breath, your own heartbeat, your own being. Then, in the softest possible way, the valley begins to release you, not with farewell, but with quiet continuation, preparing you for gentle return while promising that this place remains always within. The light softens to the familiar pearl of the beginning, the petals and moss and rivers and hills all fading into one luminous presence that travels with you. You feel yourself lifting slowly, weightlessly, the valley's love cradling you upward as your body on the bed grows lighter in awareness, yet heavier in deep rest. Every tomorrow quietly held, the healing, the joy, The forgiveness, the trust, the love remains with you, glowing softly in your heart like seeds already planted, waiting in perfect patience. The ascent is slow and tender, the pearl light wrapping around you like the valley's final embrace, conveying without words that you carry its peace always. Your breath slows to the rhythm of complete restoration, drawing in the valley's eternal calm, exhaling fully into sleep. The return feels like coming home to the deepest self, safe and loved beyond measure. Nothing needs anything tonight. Allow the valley of quietly held tomorrows to release you gently now, deeper and deeper into the most profound, healing slumber. Good night. The ultimate heart's ivory embrace lingers around you like the softest silence ever known, every petal, every breath of light now part of your own quiet rhythm, until the glow begins to shift once again, this time into a deeper, richer pearl that feels like the valley, exhaling after holding you in perfect stillness for an endless, loving moment. The vast bed of light and moss and petals starts to rise gently, not lifting you away, but carrying you forward into the valley's final, most tender layer, where the ground here is no longer separate from the sky, the light forming a seamless horizon that cradles you in boundless suspension. This final heart holds tomorrows of complete inner freedom, days when the soul moves without any remaining tether to old stories, when choice flows from pure presence rather than reaction, when life is lived as an open, unscripted dance with whatever arises. The light here is steady and all-encompassing, conveying without words that freedom was never something to achieve, but something to remember, always waiting beneath layers of forgotten fear or habit. Another heart nearby cradles tomorrows of fearless creativity, expression flowing without concern for outcome or judgment, art made for the joy of making, voice offered because it longs to sing rather than to be heard. The valley accepts every form of liberation, every pace of remembering truth. You float deeper into the seamless horizon, feeling the light support you from every direction, above, below, within, without, as though the entire valley has become one vast, loving hand. Small lights rise throughout the boundless space like gentle stars awakening, moments of future freedom already present, waiting without pressure. Your breath becomes indistinguishable from the heart's boundless glow, drawing in complete liberation, exhaling any final illusion of bondage, of sleep rises through this final heart like warm freedom ascending from within, rich and inevitable, enveloping every aspect of your being until you feel completely dissolved into loving openness. The floating in the final heart feels like remembering you were never bound. Lights glow softly throughout the seamless horizon, moments of eternal freedom already here, patient and unforced. The valley's quiet presence encompasses everything now, conveying profound safety in complete liberation. Nothing needs release tonight. Allow this final heart to hold you fully now, deeper into its boundless embrace, until only the deepest, most healing slumber remains. The boundless embrace of the final heart holds you in its seamless light for what feels like the gentle eternity of pure being, every subtle boundary between self and valley dissolving until only loving openness remains, until the light begins to soften once more, not dimming but preparing a tender return, like the valley exhaling you back toward, waking with the same care it used to draw you in. The seamless horizon starts to fold gently inward, not closing, but shaping itself into a soft tunnel of pearl light that carries you upward with infinite slowness, every tomorrow quietly held now, traveling with you as faint, warm glows in your chest. Healing, joy, forgiveness, trust, love, freedom. all resting in perfect patience, seeds already planted in the heart's deepest soil. The ascent feels like rising through layers of warm water, each one cooler and lighter than the last, yet always supportive, always loving. Small lights drift alongside you like quiet companions, tomorrows of gentle mornings waiting on the other side, days beginning with ease rather than rush, moments of choosing presence over pressure. The valley's voice, felt rather than heard, whispers reassurance that this place remains always within, accessible in any quiet breath, any moment of pausing to remember. Your body on the bed grows aware again, heavy and blissfully relaxed, every muscle softened by the journey, every cell filled with the valley's calm. Sleep deepens even as awareness of the room returns, the familiar weight of blanket, the soft sound of your own breath, the distant hum of night. The pearl tunnel widens into familiar darkness behind your eyelids, the valley's light lingering as a faint glow in your heart. Nothing needs holding or releasing tonight. Everything is already perfectly placed. Allow the tender return to carry you fully now, deeper into the deepest, most healing slumber, carrying the valley of quietly held tomorrows with you always. Good night. The familiar darkness behind your eyelids feels richer now, infused with the valley's pearl glow that refuses to fade completely, lingering like the memory of perfect peace held in the body long after waking. Your breath slows to its deepest rhythm, each inhale drawing in the last faint sense of moss and petal and distant rain, each exhale releasing you fully into rest. The bed beneath you feels wider, softer, as though the valley's ground has followed you home, cradling shoulders, back, hips, legs with the same infinite gentleness. Small lights still drift in the darkness of closed eyes, quiet tomorrows glowing softly, waiting without pressure, reminding you that every possibility rests safely within. The room around you is quiet, safe, familiar, yet somehow expanded by the valley's vastness, time stretching in the way it does just before true sleep claims everything. Your heartbeat slows to match the valley's final pulse, steady and unhurried, conveying without words that you are held, always held. Sleep rises now like the valley's mist ascending one last time, warm and complete, enveloping mind, body, heart, until awareness softens into pure rest. The journey lingers as a gentle warmth in your chest, a quiet knowing that the valley waits patiently for every return, every breath, every dream. Nothing needs anything tonight, everything is already whole. Allow the final mist to carry you fully now, deeper and deeper, into the most profound healing slumber. Good night. The profound slumber deepens further, the valley's presence now woven completely into the fabric of rest, every cell of your body bathed in its quiet love, every thought dissolved into its boundless calm. The darkness is rich and velvety, no longer empty, but filled with the faint afterglow of pearl light, like stars seen behind closed eyelids. Your breath becomes barely perceptible, slow and steady as the valley's own eternal rhythm, each cycle drawing you deeper into restoration. The bed feels like an extension of the valley's ground, soft, supportive, infinite, holding you without effort, without condition. Small sensations arise and dissolve harmlessly. The subtle weight of blanket, the cool touch of pillow, the distant sound of night outside, all softened by the valley's embrace, transformed into lullabies of safety. The quietly held tomorrows rest now as faint, warm seeds in your heart, healing unfolding in dreams, joy gathering in quiet corners, forgiveness flowing through subconscious streams, trust deepening in silent soil, love expanding in boundless space, freedom breathing in every cell. Nothing stirs unnecessarily, everything restores. The slumber feels like floating in the valley's ultimate heart forever. Time meaningless, need non-existent, only perfect peace remaining. The valley's final whisper, felt rather than heard, promises eternal welcome, eternal holding, eternal love. Sleep claims you completely now, rich and boundless, carrying you through the deepest, most healing rest. Good night. The deepest rest holds you in its complete embrace. The valley's light now fully integrated into the quiet dark of true sleep. Every layer of awareness softened into pure restoration, every subtle tension released into the boundless night. Your body lies heavy and still, breath slow and even, heart beating with the calm certainty of perfect safety. The room around you fades to irrelevance, the world beyond dissolved into quiet. The valley's presence lingering as a gentle warmth that needs no form, no image, only being. Dreams may come or not, soft meadows, drifting lights, quiet rivers, all infused with the same pearl calm, all part of the same loving whole. Nothing needs dreaming or waking tonight. Everything is already held in perfect balance. The slumber deepens further beyond thought, beyond feeling, into the heart of renewal itself. The valley's love remains quiet and eternal, cradling you through every moment of this profound rest. Good night, and may the valley of quietly held tomorrows hold you always in its gentle, boundless embrace. The pearl light of the valley's ultimate heart lingers around you like the softest veil ever woven from quiet itself, every breath now part of its boundless rhythm, every heartbeat echoing its gentle pulse, until the glow begins to shift once more, not fading but preparing the tenderest release, like the valley exhaling you back toward the world with the same infinite care it used to draw you in. The seamless bed of light and moss and petals starts to rise slowly, carrying you upward through layers of warm air that feel like ascending through memories of perfect peace, each layer cooler and lighter than the last, yet always supportive, always loving. Small lights drift alongside you like quiet companions, saying soft farewells without sadness. Tomorrows of gentle awakenings waiting on the other side. Mornings where light enters the room without demand. Days beginning with the quiet choice to be kind to oneself first. The ascent is unhurried, almost imperceptible, the valley's love cradling you every inch of the way, conveying without words that this place lives forever within your heart, accessible in any moment of pausing, any breath taken in awareness. Your body on the bed grows subtly aware again, the familiar weight of blanket, the cool touch of pillow, the distant sounds of night all softened by the valley's embrace, transformed into gentle reminders of safety. The pearl tunnel widens into the familiar darkness behind your eyelids, the valley's light lingering as a faint, warm glow in your chest that refuses to dim completely. Sleep deepens even as the return completes, rich and complete, holding you in perfect balance between the valley's eternal quiet and the world's soft call. Nothing needs grasping or releasing tonight. Everything is already perfectly held. Allow the tender ascent to carry you fully now, deeper and deeper, into the most profound healing slumber, carrying the valley of quietly held tomorrows with you always. Good night. The familiar darkness behind your eyelids feels infinitely richer now, infused with the valley's pearl glow that settles into every corner of awareness like stardust, choosing to rest. The journey's warmth spreading through your limbs in slow, soothing waves that loosen the last subtle tensions you didn't know you carried. Your breath slows to its deepest, most unhurried rhythm, each inhale drawing in the lingering scents of moss and petal and distant rain, each exhale releasing you completely into the embrace of true night. The bed beneath you feels transformed, wider, softer, more supportive, as though the valley's ground has followed you home, cradling shoulders, back, hips, legs, with the same boundless gentleness that held you in its heart. Small sensations arise and dissolve harmlessly. The subtle shift of blanket, the cool pillow against your cheek, the quiet hum of the world beyond the window, all softened by the valley's presence, becoming lullabies of perfect safety. The quietly held tomorrows rest now as faint, warm seeds in your chest, healing continuing in dreams, joy gathering in quiet corners of the subconscious, forgiveness flowing through unseen streams, trust deepening in silent soil, love expanding in boundless inner space, freedom breathing in every cell. Dreams may come or not, soft meadows drifting, rivers of light winding, petals opening in perpetual bloom, all infused with the same pearl calm, all part of the same loving whole. Your heartbeat slows to the valley's final pulse, steady and eternal, conveying profound reassurance that you are held, always held, beyond time or place. Sleep claims everything now, rich and boundless, carrying you through layers of restoration, deeper than thought, deeper than feeling, into the heart of renewal itself. The valley's final whisper lingers, felt rather than heard. You are loved, you are whole, you are home. Good night. The profound slumber deepens further, the valley's presence now woven so completely into the fabric of rest that every cell resonates with its quiet love, every subtle shift of breath echoing its eternal calm. The darkness is velvety and full, no longer empty but alive with the faint afterglow of pearl light, like countless stars shining softly behind closed eyelids. Your body lies heavy and perfectly still, limbs spread in complete surrender, breath slow and even as the valley's own unhurried tide, heart beating with the calm certainty of absolute safety. The room around you has faded to gentle irrelevance, the world beyond dissolved into quiet. The valley's embrace lingering as a warmth that needs no form, no image, only pure being. Small sensations float through awareness and dissolve without trace. The subtle rise and fall of chest, the faint coolness of air on skin, the distant, comforting sounds of night, all transformed into gentle reminders that you are exactly where you belong. The quietly held tomorrows continue their patient work in the depths, seeds of healing sprouting in dream soil, roots of joy deepening unseen, rivers of forgiveness flowing through subconscious valleys, forests of trust growing ring by ring, meadows of love expanding without boundary, horizons of freedom stretching endlessly inward. Nothing stirs unnecessarily, everything restores in perfect rhythm. The slumber feels like floating forever in the valley's ultimate heart, time dissolved, need dissolved, only perfect peace and boundless love remaining. The valley's presence encompasses you completely, conveying eternal welcome, eternal holding, eternal wholeness. Sleep carries you deeper still beyond any edge, into the heart of pure restoration. Good night. The deepest rest holds you in its complete, velvet embrace, the valley's light now fully integrated into the quiet dark of true sleep, every layer of awareness softened into pure renewal, every subtle tension released into the boundless night that feels infinitely kind. Your body is heavy with perfect stillness, breath barely perceptible yet profoundly nourishing, heart beating slow and steady like a distant, loving drum. The darkness is rich and alive, filled with the faint, warm afterglow of the valley's pearl light, like a sky full of unseen stars shining gently within. The bed, the room, the world beyond, all fade into gentle background, softened by the valley's lingering presence, becoming mere extensions of its boundless cradle. Small dreams may brush the edges of awareness, soft grasses swaying, petals opening in slow motion, rivers of light flowing without source or end. all carrying the same message of perfect okayness, all dissolving back into the greater quiet. The quietly held tomorrows rest in absolute patience, their seeds glowing faintly in the heart's deepest soil, sprouting, growing, blooming in realms beyond conscious knowing. Healing continues in perfect silence, joy gathers in unseen corners, forgiveness flows like underground springs, trust deepens like ancient roots, love expands like the valley itself, freedom breathes in every silent cell. Nothing needs dreaming or waking, everything restores in perfect balance. The slumber deepens beyond measure, beyond description, into the heart of renewal itself, where the valley and the self are one. The valley's final, wordless blessing lingers. You are loved beyond measure, held beyond time, whole beyond any story. Sleep encompasses everything now, rich, boundless, eternal. Good night. The eternal slumber holds you in its complete, loving quiet. The valley's presence now so fully woven into the fabric of rest that distinction dissolves entirely, every breath, every heartbeat, every silent moment, part of the same boundless peace. The darkness is profound and kind, filled with the valley's pearl light that shines softly from within, like a gentle dawn that needs no sunrise. Your body rests in absolute stillness, heavy with perfect restoration, every muscle, every cell, every subtle energy softened into complete release. The world beyond is distant and irrelevant, softened into quiet by the valley's embrace, all sounds transformed into lullabies of safety, all sensations into reminders of perfect holding. Dreams, if they come, are mere ripples on the surface of this deep ocean of rest, soft images of meadows endless, lights drifting, petals opening forever, all dissolving back into the greater calm without trace. The quietly held tomorrows continue their eternal work in perfect silence, their light glowing steadily in the heart's deepest center, growing, expanding, becoming without effort or time. Healing flows like underground rivers, joy gathers like dew before any dawn, forgiveness blooms like night flowers, trust roots like ancient trees, love encompasses like the valley itself, freedom breathes in boundless space. Nothing needs anything, everything is already complete in this profound rest. The slumber deepens into the heart of pure being, where valley and soul are one eternal quiet. The valley's boundless love remains, holding you through every moment of this infinite renewal. Good night, and rest in the eternal embrace of the valley of quietly held tomorrows.